Okay, so I've been waiting to make this video for like some weeks. So this video is gonna be me talking about the world's famous YouTuber I've ever watched in my life for quite some years since I probably started watching him when I was like 18 or 19. So he's been a good vlogger so far. And that's all. So the YouTuber I'm gonna be talking, the world's famous YouTuber I'm gonna be talking about is Carson Johns. So about Carson Johns, he's made a lot of videos for like day in life videos and morning and night routine videos and some kind of car videos through the last many years, and then that's all, and probably depends whatever year he started making YouTube videos. When I was like younger, no, I haven't seen him yet. So Carson has two siblings, and he has one sister and one brother. And his older sister's name is McKenna, which is now they call her like Kenna. And his younger brother's name is Corin. So, and Carson's parent, and also his parents are Steve and Brandy. Yeah, Steve and Brandy Johns. So, my first time, and then they live in Utah, like somewhere by Salt Lake City. Since there's a house they used to live in for many years, but then they officially moved somewhere different location, Utah. So when I first saw Carson Johns was the video that he failed the driving test for his permit. Like, on that video, he failed the driving test at first, and then as soon as when he tried again to take his test for a permit, he passed. So once when he got his permit, his mom had to do half of the driving. Like Brandy had to do half of the driving, and then she started to let Carson drive in the neighborhood, and that's all, in the neighborhood on the way home. And then during that, they called Steve as his dad, of how did he do on the driving test. And then Carson had to tell him what happened at first, and that's also. And Carson was like, I failed the first time and I passed the second time. And that's all. Like, I think they were heading home to go pick up Corin to take him out with him and his mom, and his mom Brandy. And in that video, Carson drove to McDonald's for the first time. And then and then Carson ordered from the drive-thru for the first time back then. And then while they were waiting in the drive-thru, Carson went on his phone saying that he got a text from someone, and Brandy was like, And then Brandy has forbidden him for being on his phone to not text because he's driving now. She's like, no, 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 no. You never look at your phone while you're driving. I strongly agree on that. So, there used to be the video that of the Carson John saying busted that he went driving again. He and his brother like drove like during rush hour time to Walmart to hit a McDonald's for some places, and then they were trying to pretend to tell their mother that they just walked all the way to McDonald's and got some exercise at Walmart. But then and then the second trick was his dad was home, but he was at work, but they took their mom's car, and when Carson had to be the driver since he's older than Corin, and then they got into a punishment how they shouldn't be taking a car while that young without a permit or any stuff like that, and or else they'll get in trouble. Pretty sure they got in trouble by Brandy, by their mom, and then and she has forbidden him that you gotta drive with the parent with you. You gotta have someone. You have to have an adult with a driver's license with you when you drive with a permit. And once you get your license, you're on your own. And and another thing I want to add in. So Carson's first car was his dream car that he wanted, a 2016 Chevy Camaro. And he did a lot of driving practice in his Camaro. And then he's had that for a few other years, like a Camaro. And then the video how he had a tour of his Camaro. He drove with his mom to the car wash to get his car washed because his Camaro was so dirty. And then he had a vacuum. And at first time when Carson was drove it through the car wash, he was scared, and then he got used to it quickly that he's going to do great at the car wash to drive through and put the car in neutral and hands off the wheel, foot off the brake and gas, and you're all good. And after the car wash, they picked up his brother Corin from school, and I think Corin was still in middle school when Carson was 15. Yeah, of course, Corin. Corin is a year younger than Carson. What's so funny is that Carson's birthday is right on April Fool's Day, April 1st as his birthday. And that's all. And since he gets to my brother's age that time. And then I used to want a Camaro at first when I got my license, and then just have fun driving it around, but times changed because I like taller cars. And then Carson, when Carson was younger at 15, he used to hang out with his best friend who is a girl who's officially used to make YouTube videos on her channel, which is Ashlyn Jade. And there was a video that they were switching cars that Carson just just drove a Jeep for the first time, the Jeep Wrangler, like Ashland's Jeep Wrangler for the first time. And pretty sure the Jeep Wrangler can be like easy to drive, and then it feels so high up, the Jeep, and then when Ashland drove a Camaro for the first time, she just felt like it was so low to the ground, and that's all. And they were like cruising around in their cars, and that's all. And also on the video, on Carson's old video, when he was close best friends with Ashlyn, they went car shopping alone. How Carson wanted a Camaro and Ashlyn wanted a Jeep, and I used to like that video. I mean, I like that video somehow, since I used to be into watching it, and that's all. That's all. And then after the Camaro, he got a Corvette back in 2021, and it feels so, that Corvette was so low to the ground, and like he's had that for a couple years, and then he got a Mercedes. He got a Mercedes, the big mid-size sedan, when he moved to his new house. Oh yeah, so I think in 2022, Carson and his family started to build their dream house. Since they have a nice house there, what they built, since they built the gym, they built the game room, they built some like many bedrooms. They built like an Airbnb apartment complex. And they built a rock climbing wall. Oh, and then they've been having a dog named Tebby. They've had Tebby for like years now, since I've watched Carson Johns. Oh yeah, and at their new house, Tebby has this potty house where he goes right into, since he goes right into his own bridge to go to his potty house every time when he needs to go to the bathroom, and that's all. Since I actually saw that on his house tour video that he posted 2 years ago, right on Christmas Eve. And then they used to live in the old house in like some kind of neighborhood for some years, and then now they live on the mountain somewhere. They live somewhere on the mountain, and then new house where they built their dream house. And yeah. And another thing about Carson is that he's had 3 girlfriends so far. So his first girlfriend was when he was 14, and he had a girlfriend named Kelsey. I forgot her last name. Well, speaking of that, they were making a big paper project, like the white paperboard project, saying whatever, like do you want to date me, or whatever that says. And then the girls would have a yes. Like most girls would have yes things to show yes to them, and most girls would show no to them because they're not interested. And then they started to give each other hugs at the swimming pool place, and I don't remember exactly what they'd done, honestly, because I never seen much of their old videos that when they were together. I'm not sure how long they've been together though. But that's his first girlfriend, and now his second girlfriend was Maya, since she was from another state, long distance. Like they must have met online or something like that. I'm not sure where she lived though when she was long distance from Utah. her name was Maya, and then she flew in to spend some weeks with her boyfriend Carson Johns. And then they've done so many stuff together, like they've done some cooking stuff, and then Maya put makeup on Carson of how they were doing like a challenge, and they did a day in the life together. So they went some errands. They went to the movies. They went to the car wash, and they FaceTime each other from long distance once, and I don't remember anything else. Oh yeah, I bet she liked to go shopping too, since that was a thing, and then I think that's all I remember. Then, and they were doing a challenge how they handcuffed each other to stay together and did a shower challenge, like something like that, but I don't know what else they did. And then they had to break up. And there's a video how they had to break up because their long distance relationship didn't work out at the very end. And that's all. And also his third girlfriend was it was Avery Kroll, and she used to make videos on her channel too. Like, she's had some videos of him on her channel somewhat, and I think she was from Los Angeles, California, what I saw on Facebook, and they used to spend their Christmas together and stuff like that, and they did some cooking videos or some. I don't know how long Avery and Carson were together, and then they had to break up because, well, there was that point that Avery was going to move to Utah for college. But that started not work out, since probably they had to break up, and there's no video on that. Now, Carson is dating this girl named Abigail. They've been together for a year now, and they actually met on Tinder. So the first video of seeing Carson's new girlfriend was Meet My Girlfriend. Since they both live in Utah together, since I'm glad Carson decided to date someone who lives in the same town as him. So on the Meet My Girlfriend video, they went and spent the weekend at Sacramento, California, and then they went to the beach, and they stayed at an Airbnb, and they rented some bikes to exercise in on the boardwalk or something, and they wanted to do a campfire at the beach to do s'mores. And then the funniest thing what Carson said was that we brought the campfire home. Like, we brought the campfire home, baby. And then they did s'mores at home. And another part is they were asking each other questions, like do they have any goal, like. Alright, so then they were asking question. They did a lot of question asking, saying what's your goal? What's your goal somehow? And then Abigail said that their goal is hopefully one day they get married. And then Carson was mentioning then have three kids, like he was like 3 little munchkins. And and then Abigail said that her mom is from Samoa, and and I think She made a joke that her dad was from Mexico, but her dad was from Connecticut, and that's all. And probably her dad lives in Hawaii now since then. And they went out to eat on their first vacation date. Although I kind of miss California now since then, to play in the beach and somehow since I like to do, but I'm talking about Carson Johns. So, what else did they do? And then they also did the question asking at the restaurant, how they were sitting outside, like, when did you ask her out and stuff like that, and he asked her out in like a month in, and then at first Carson was way too nervous to have her on YouTube till things worked out that she made the cut, and that's all. And in the next video on Carson's channel with his new girlfriend that he's been dating since, how they're best romantic partners, that the video is called Behind the Scenes of the Relationship. Yeah, first they went shopping for like Mother's Day at some malls, and they went to Ross to go get something, and how Abigail won, and then they actually had their double date with her sister named Olivia, and then they somehow ate at Cheesecake Factory, and then at Abigail's house they made the clay. They made the clay character from the clay thing, and that's all. And then she has a cat named Pluto, and oh yeah, on that video, as soon as when the cat got on the table with them playing, hang on, what did Olivia say? Depends what she was saying, but she was just playing, but. And then Carson's like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing, bro?" And that's all, but. And then they went to like a country club stuff to lay out in the sun and stuff like that. And that's all I remember. And they went to Hawaii together twice. And so the first time they went to Hawaii was that they went on a secret long trip. Since they had to make one pit stop in San Francisco, and then probably they had to stay the night in San Francisco, but probably they had to wait for another plane. Yeah, I think they had to wait for another plane to Hawaii though. But and then that time when they were stranded in San Francisco, they were having trouble finding a place to sleep, of course. And then Carson was like, one not crappy night's sleep later, they arrived in Hawaii, and then they took the city bus to some places, and they went to the beach a lot, and what they did in Hawaii, and then they got some good healthy food. And yeah, I think Abigail has a place there in Hawaii where has family and has some family in Hawaii who they live in. and they went in the beach a lot, and then they were like paddleboarding or something, like they were on the, so, and then they did a jump from the tree in the water, and they went on a hiking trail and stuff like that. And then they were finding some lizards and animals and stuff like that. Okay, and 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 then this next time they went to Hawaii, they had this full 7 days of adventure. Since I love that video so much, there were a lot of things. What they did was like they were like jumping off the cliff, and Carson and her sister just jumped the cliff off the bridge to the lake, and they were playing in the beach. And then they went somehow snorkeling with the fish and stuff like that. And oh yeah, I think Abigail's uncle lives in Hawaii. Since that time they went to one of her uncle's house in Hawaii to go do some construction, and then and his house was like nice property and stuff like that of the jungle. And what else? They did paddle boarding somehow, and then they were like hugging each other on the paddle boarding. And they went on a canoe ride. They went on a canoe in Hawaii, and they went to an indoor luau in Hawaii. And then they went to a petting zoo where there are horses and some farm animals. And that's it. And also, oh, and they spend Christmas together for the first time since Carson's Christmas video is when they were together for Christmas at his house, and said Christmas 2024 and stuff like that, how they were getting their nice presents for dates and stuff like that. And then all right, real quick, I want to add in is that there's a video of Carson saying yes to his girlfriend for like 24 hours. Like they had a date together. They went to Target and get some Legos and stuff like that, and they went out to eat to a nice fancy restaurant in downtown Salt Lake City, Utah. And they did a lot of errands together, and that's all. Pretty much that's it. Oh, and oh yeah, they had to make a pit stop at a car dealership. Like, I think it was for Abigail of what new car she wanted, though. And that's all. And there's a video I liked when they were together, is that they did his girlfriend controlling the day of their life, controlling the day for 24 hours, since they went furniture shopping, and Abigail was like, why you ask Carson? And then she made Carson ask, why are we going furniture shopping? And then they said they're gonna move in together in June, which was already last month. Since pretty sure they're moved in now, but the new video isn't out yet, though. And they went to a grocery store and shopped for some healthy food to cook and stuff like that. And recently, since it was a couple months ago, they went to Costa Rica, past Mexico. Oh, they did a lot of fun things. They went horseback riding in Costa Rica, and they went on a zip line. And they rented an Airbnb to stay in, and they went out to eat quite some times, and that's all. Oh yeah, and they were actually in Arizona, but in Phoenix, and staying at Surprise, Arizona, just just a while ago. Just not a while ago, just like a couple few weeks ago. Since they were flying out, and I think Carson has some cousins that live in Arizona here, like in Surprise or something. And they went to a Diamondbacks game since I saw on their Instagram post. And then I commented that I live here in Arizona and that's all. Yeah. And I'm sure they had a good family visit time. Oh, yeah, and there's some, I want to add in, Carson's sister actually got married a couple years ago. And she has a husband named Jake. And then now they have a baby. It was a son. What's their son's name? I don't know. I don't know what's his name. And now Carson and Corin are officially uncles. Oh yeah, McKenna. Oh, that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, McKenna and Jake are parents, and Carson, Corin, and McKenna's parents are now grandparents, and Abigail would be considered an aunt. Oh yeah, and I think Abigail is officially an aunt because she has a little. She probably has a baby nephew. Oh yeah, on the seven days of adventure at Hawaii, they went to a little kid's birthday party there in Hawaii, and I bet that was fun. And that's all. And then there's another video of them in Costa Rica, a realistic day in Costa Rica that someone did some once, and that was their last day, and that's all. Alright, that'll be it for the video, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope I didn't bore you guys, but thanks for watching, and you have a good one. If you guys want to check out Carson Johns, check him out. Just search Carson Johns on YouTube, and thank you for watching. Have a good day and a good night, and I'll see you guys next time.